Sukho's white horse. To the north of China in Mongolia extends a broad, grassy plain. The people who live there have kept sheep, cattle, and horses for many ages. Here in Mongolia, they have a musical instrument called the Morin Khor, or the horse-head rebeck. It is so called because the upper part of it is shaped like a horse's head. Now, how did this musical instrument come to be invented? There is a story about it that goes like this. Long ago, a poor shepherd boy called Sukh lived in the grassy plains of Mongolia. He lived with his aged grandmother, just the two of them together. He worked as hard as any grown-up. He woke up early every morning and helped his grandmother cook breakfast. Then he would take their more than 20 sheep out into the broad, wide plains. Sukh was a very good singer and often sang when asked to by the other shepherds. His beautiful singing voice would ring out across the plain and far into the distance. Then one day, though the sun had already set beyond the distant mountains, and it was fast getting dark all around, Sukh did not come home. His grandmother was beside herself with worry. The shepherds living nearby also wondered what had happened and began to be alarmed. When all were beside themselves with worry, Sukh came running up, holding in his arms something white. They all ran up close to him and saw that it was a small, newly born white foal. Sukh explained to all of them, smiling happily. On my way home, I found this foal. He had fallen to the ground and lay there wriggling. I looked around, but saw no one who looked like the owner and no mother horse. If I let him there, he might be eaten by the wolves at night. So I brought him with me. The days went by. Thanks to the way Sukh put his whole heart into caring for him, the foal grew big and strong. His coat was white as snow, his body trim and well knit, so that everyone gazed in rapture in spite of themselves. Sukh loved this horse with all his heart. One night, Sukh woke from sleep with a start. He heard the shrill whining of a horse and the sound of a disturbance among the sheep. He leaped out of bed and outside and ran to the sheepfold. He saw a large wolf trying to attack the sheep, and the small white horse stood before the wolf, frantically staving it off. Sukh chased the wolf away and ran close to the white horse. The horse's whole body was soaking wet with sweat. He must have fought the wolf alone for quite a long while. As he rubbed the sweaty white horse, Sukh spoke to him as if to a brother. "You did well, white horse. Thank you so much." Time flew by. In the spring of a certain year, word spread all over the plains. The Nonyon, or local ruler of those parts, was having a horse race in the town, and the man who came in first was to marry the Nonyon's daughter. When they heard this message, his fellow shepherds urged Sukh, "By all means, try riding the horse in the race." So he got on his beloved white horse and crossed the broad, wide plain, heading for the town where the race was being held. At the racetrack were gathered a great many spectators. The Nonnion had ensconced himself on a dice. The race began. Strong young men come together from all over the country, flourished their leather whips at one. Horse ran as if they flew. In the lead was the white horse. The white horse with Sukh on him. The white horse came in first. "Bring me the rider of the white horse," the Nonnion cried. But when he looked at the young men they brought to him, he saw only a poor shepherd. So the ruler pretended to know nothing of his promise and made him his son-in-law and said, "I will give you 3 pieces of silver. Leave the white horse here and get back to where you came from fast!" Sukh lost his temper and, forgetting himself, answered back, "I came to raise my horse, not to sell him." "What? You miserable shepherd! How dare you cross me? Man, beat him up good!" The Nonnion exploded and his retainers all set up upon Sukh, who was beaten and kicked by the many men and lost consciousness. The ruler took the white horse away from him and, accompanied by his retainers, left proudly. Sukh, helped by his friends, barely managed to make his way back home. Sukh's body was all cuts and bruises. His grandmother tended him day and night. Thanks to her, after some days has passed, his wounds began to heal. Even so, the sorrow of having had the white horse taken from him would not fade, no matter what. "I wonder what the white horse is doing." Sukh thought of nothing else. What had happened to the white horse? The Nonnion felt really good at having gotten hold of this superb horse. And having done so, he wanted to show him off to everyone. Therefore, one day he invited many guests over and gave a drinking party. Now he had decided that in the middle of this party, he would ride the white horse for the first time and show him to everyone. His retainers led the white horse in. The Nonnion mounted the horse. Then it happened. The white horse leaped up with fearsome energy. The ruler rolled off of him down onto the ground. The white horse shook the reins out of his hands and began to run like the wind through the screeching crowd. The Nonnion, struggling to get up, roared loudly at all around him. "Quick! Catch him! If you can't catch him, shoot him to death with your bows and arrows!" His retainers drew their bows taut and let fly all together. The arrows whistled as they flew. One after another, they sank into the back of the white horse. Even so, the white horse kept on running. That same night, as Sukh was about to go to bed, suddenly there came a sound from outside. "Who is it?" he asked, but there was no answer. Clack, 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 clack. The sound continued. His grandmother who had gone outside to see what it was, let out a cry. "It's the white horse! It's our white horse!" Sukh leaped up and ran out. He looked and saw that, in fact, the white horse was really there. But there were ever so many arrows stuck in his body, and the sweat flowed as if from the waterfall. The white horse was young and had ran and ran and ran, even with those awful wounds. He had come home to his beloved Sukh. Sukh gritted his teeth and, forcing himself to bear the ache, pulled out the arrows that were stuck in his horse. Blood spurted from the wound. "White horse, my dear white horse, please don't die!" But the white horse was thoroughly worn out. His breath gradually became faint, and the light faded from his eyes. The next day, the white horse died. For sorrow and chagrin, Sukh could not sleep for many nights. Then when finally he dozed off one night, he dreamed of the white horse. Sukh stroked him, and the white horse rubbed his body up against his master, and he spoke to him gently. "Don't mourn so. It would be better to make a musical instrument out of my bones, hide, sinews, and hair. That way I can always be beside you. I can comfort you." As soon as he woke up from his dream, Sukh began to make the musical instrument, just as the white horse had taught him to in the dream. He put together the bones, hide, sinews, and hair as if possessed. The musical instrument was finished. This was the Morin Kur, the horse-head rebec. Sukh took this Morin Kur with him wherever he went. Each time he played it, he remembered his chagrin at seeing the white horse killed and the joy of racing across the plains on him. And he felt if the white horse were right beside him. At times like that, the instrument's music resounded more beautifully than ever, moving the hearts of all who listened. In time, the Morin Kur Sukh invented spread all across the broad Mongolian plain, and the shepherds would gather together in the evenings to listen intently to its beautiful notes and forget the toil of the day. The end.